Hello, once again, and welcome to Map It, Make It Plain with Tracy. It's a fresh new week, and you really ready for the week. Still in the month of June, I'm very excited to announce that it's my love month, and I call it so because it's my special month. It's my birth month, and thanks to all of you who already started wishing me happy birthday. It's very much far in advance, but I'm thankful. And to my co-celebrants, I have a couple of friends who share the same birthday with me, June 16th, and then thereafter. So I have a lot of friends who are June babies. And thank you, thank you, thank you. And let it keep coming. Let the love keep coming. Let the love keep coming. All right. So yeah, I chose to speak about love, self care. It's a bit interchangeable. So, what does it mean to you? That's what we are discussing last week. What does it mean to you? So, typically, people are like, oh, give yourself a break, give yourself a treat, do things you love, go places you want to go to, and so on and so forth. That's beautiful. That's fantastic. But hey, today, I want to throw more light and show us that there are two sides, to self love and self care. So while one side are kind of what we call feel good actions, right? Things you do to feel good. That's more often than not what people construe for self love. Give yourself a treat, take yourself out, go on a vacation, buy your ticket, and just stuff like that. It's beautiful. And then when it's necessary, please don't hesitate, go ahead and do just that. But beside those feel good actions, right? There are times that you truly don't need those exact feel good actions. You may need a bit more. You may need a bit of some other actions that may be tough, difficult, but necessary. So how do you know what kind of actions or steps to take towards showing yourself the self-love or the self-care that we are talking about? So in the coming weeks, today and in the next few weeks, I'm going to speak about areas and ways that you can practice self-love and self-care. Most importantly, you need to ask yourself, what's the intention? What's the objective? What do I hope to get in all of these activities? Why am I showing myself all this love? So when you ask yourself that question, you now are able to decipher what your need is as against what your want is. Okay? Your need versus your want. So what you want? Oh, I want to sleep. I want to go on a vacation. I want to rest. I want to want may not exactly be what you require. But then when you critically analyze and ask yourself what exactly you need, then the response you get, what you'll be able to put down more often than not speaks to what you need to do, towards showing yourself self love or self care. So I'm going to share a few examples today, and then as the month progresses, we'll take other actions. So one way to show yourself self-love or self-care could be controlling your, let's say, your activities, your participation, your presence on social media. And the question is why? So if you're the kind of person who has a lot thought of to do and you've not been able to achieve much because you're always on social media, always on your phone, on WhatsApp, on Facebook, TikTok, everywhere, making those traces, spending so you need to ask yourself, are you really making much progress by being in that space? Is it just fun and entertainment and all of that? And some really important things you need to do for yourself are suffering. So it's actually time consuming. That's the point. It's also addictive. So structure yourself, structure your time, have time for social media, have time for your personal study, your personal development, your personal enhancement, and then let there be a balance. So if it's one-sided, your scale is a bit tilting to this side or so much so to that side, then you need to find a way to strike a balance. So that's about, taking control of your time, okay, and conquering any form of addiction. So that's number one. Another way to show yourself self care, self love is by consciously forcing yourself to begin to develop you. Take for instance, you are someone who people think you are a bit talkative. You jump into people's conversations, whether invited or not. Then that's not such a good habit. So if it's something people are saying one way or the other, then it's important to find a way to curb it, to work on it, to try to adjust. So if you consciously tell yourself that while this feedback doesn't look or sound so good, it's important that I put myself back on track and do things that would help me become better, overcome that bad habit, replace it with better habits. That's also how to show yourself self love and self care. And then, thirdly, for today, I would say make a plan to book an appointment with the doctor. Checkups. How often do you go for checkups? Are you a patronizer of pharmacy? Oh, every time you have a headache, oh, it's malaria. Every time your tummy aches you, it's malaria. Every time, you just practice self-medication without any proper supervision. That's not so good. And then what happens, the downside of it is, if you don't regularly visit the doctor, if you're 40 and over, I think you should check with the doctor. They say once a year is good. If you're below, twice, once in 2 years, it's advised. So from time to time, just go for your routine check. They check you physically, check your vitals, your blood pressure, your sugar. So it's something you need to do for yourself. And that's another form of self-love and self-care. So I'm going to stop here. But if, for instance, you don't remember anything I've said, recall that self-love actions, self-care actions don't necessarily mean feel-good actions. So they can be tight, they can be tough, but there are things you need is against things you want. So I love you. Stay tuned, stay with me. Catch you next week in our next edition of Map It, Make It Plain with Tracy. So we're dissecting life's principles, business principles, concepts, strategies, ideas, simplifying it all the way. So it's my love month. Don't go away.